All right, you guys. So we just got off one of the Idaho 4 topics where we were going through the alibi and talking about the car and cell tower evidence because it correlates with the alibi. And make sure you check out the live stream where we talk through all of it piece by piece. But one of the other topics I really wanted to bring up, and honestly, I was a little nervous about bringing this topic up because I don't want to turn into one of those creators where I'm suggesting what the viewer does. For some reason, that bothers me when you have content creators out there that are like suggesting to the viewer how they should watch their entertainment or videos and what they should do with it, right? And you have people that are like, look, you guys, you got to make sure you're doing this and you got to make sure you're doing that. Look, our channel, there's no stipulations. You don't got to make sure you're doing anything. I need to make sure that I'm giving you good content so that you enjoy coming here and we can talk through this together, you know? So I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it does. But I wanted to bring this up to more...
You just don't like telling people what to do.
I feel like it's disrespectful because we're here creating content for them.
Right.
While we're hopefully going to be at a point where we benefit from that and are able to do it more full time for them, you know? So it's not that I don't like telling people what to do. I was a people manager for over a decade. I'm really good and comfortable telling people what to do, but in this situation, it just comes off weird to me.
I didn't mean that. Like, I feel like you kind of took it a different way. I mean, like, telling all your viewers, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to watch your content. Like, you're some kind of authority on it. And if you're not doing it that way, then you're doing it wrong. You're doing something bad.
Right.
It's like pointing a finger at
Exactly.
people.
Yeah. And I don't like it. I feel like we're all adults here. We should be able to consume anything. But so I want to be able to bring up these couple topics. And again, I'm trying to do it in a way where we aren't throwing anyone under the bus, but it needs to be brought up and it needs to be talked about, okay? So, with the Idaho 4, there have been a ton of theories that have came out, you guys. Yep. And as they come out, we want to keep coming out with them, too, to present them with you, you know? And one of the things that we promise to do is that we're going to give honest, intelligent, unscripted, and interesting content. And any information we have, we're going to share that information with you, no matter what. We are not going to censor anything. That's another thing that bothers me, is when creators try to censor the information. I don't feel like that's my place to do that for another adult. I feel like it's just my job to offer you something that you want to watch. You know what I mean? So, anyways, what am I talking about that I'm sitting here literally just blabbing on about? So, 2 different videos have come out, or topics have come out, okay? The first one being the dot situation.
Yep.
Right? And the second one, the new one, being this Kara Willis, who I don't even know, have no idea who it is.
Kara Willis?
Yeah.
Who is Kara Willis?
It's somebody that I don't know. I don't know who Kara Willis is. But what it does is essentially says that these crimes happened at another location, not the house. Okay. So this is not the first time I've heard this theory. You know, the first video that we put out that got real big, the drug theory video, we had a lot of people who were like really bought on to that, and they felt like it made a lot of sense to them. So we had people reaching out with information they have, which I appreciate. I love. Please keep doing that, you guys. I want to know information, even if it debunks or contradicts what I'm saying. Like, I don't want an echo chamber here. So what Kara says is, she says, you know, I have information, I'm going to speak out about it, and it makes so much sense, okay? You have the Idaho 4, and for some reason, and nobody knows why, but for some reason, there's no evidence in that house, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because those crimes happened somewhere else, and they were brought back to the house.
Immediately, I just don't feel like that can be true.
Me neither. And that's why I wanted to bring this up, because it's important for us, you guys, us, to be able to look at this situation unbiased. And one thing I want to bring up is I feel like everybody, you know what, I'll talk about myself. I feel like myself in any situation, if I approach it biased, I am very easily swayed into a theory that doesn't make logical sense.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're emotionally bought in, you're biased, and you start, like, swaying that way. You're like, oh, yeah, like, that could make sense. You know, the main reason I don't think that's possible is, for one, Steve, the dad, gosh, how do you say the last name again? Goncalves or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not...
Goncalves.
I'm not going to do this right now. So embarrassed. Goncalves. Mm-hmm. I think that's how you say it, right? Okay.
I don't remember.
I'm so sorry. Apologies.
Names are not our strong suit, and I've said this a million times, and people got so mad at us for mixing up names in the comments. But you guys, look, I have a very specific type of ADHD that causes me not to be able to remember names and words if I'm not active while I'm talking. I will forget literally basic words like the word "the," just like words nobody should ever forget, but I can't help it. I cannot help it.
That's why you always hear me jumping in to replace a word for him or something, because I can tell he's forgetting a word.
Yeah.
And we just know each other well.
Yeah.
It probably gets annoying, but that's why, just so you know.
Yeah.
But I don't have an excuse. I just forget names. Like, I don't have some rare form of ADHD. I don't know why. I'm just not good with names. I'm good with faces, not names. Maybe I do have ADD. I don't know. Anyway, he has video of the girls, of Kaylee and Maddie, being dropped off.
Okay. Yeah.
Kaylee's father has video of them being dropped off at home.
Okay.
So if he has hit their security camera that was out front or wherever, it was out front, of them being dropped off home, then surely he would have footage of them being taken around.
Yes.
And also the blood seeping down the foundation. How much blood was in that home is indicative of it happening there.
Yeah, no. That's a good call out. I was just sitting here thinking about that for a minute because I didn't realize that they had the security cam footage like on the house of them coming home. So, okay. And the one thing that I thought of when I heard this, because I got to be honest, you guys, I didn't even finish it all the way yet because we were on a time crunch to make sure we did finished up investigating for the topics that we're doing tonight and everything. I didn't have time, but the first thing I thought is, I don't know how much experience you guys have, like, carrying bodies. That sounds so bad.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, a drunk friend. Imagine carrying a drunk friend who's dead weight home, okay?
So...
bodies are heavy.
Oh, my gosh. Dead weight is so heavy and so awkward, and the reason why it's awkward is because of our limbs. It is, if you gave me a 150-pound ball of solid, secure weight, and none of it's going to be moving around, most men, adult men could pick it up and haul it around, throw it all over the place like it's nothing, no problem, like a bag of cement, okay? But when you add in limbs, and each limb is probably 5 or more pounds, the legs are probably way heavier, like that weight is moving. It is a motioned weight, okay?
Yeah.
It is very hard.
It's not like
to
this
carry.
nice, neat little ball or box or bag. It's like, it's a body.
Right.
Yeah.
Now times that by 4, okay? Now think of the amount of time it would take. So you have 4 people that you're putting into a house, some of them on the 2nd story. How many people would you need to make that happen? Probably 1 person per limb to do it in any
I think you would
that's
need
not hours, you know?
to do it in a very short amount of time. I mean, it probably could be done if the guys were like pretty built, 1 per 1. 4 guys.
No way,
You're
dude.
better off if you're doing it quickly, having 2 for 1.
The reason why I say that is because you have to remember DNA. That person said there's no evidence on site because they were moved there. If you had somebody that threw them over a shoulder, right, a not a live person, right, and ended in the way that they did, that is going everywhere. You would have more evidence doing that
Absolutely.
than the way that it was done.
Moving
okay?
the bodies, absolutely. There would be more evidence.
So right away, I start seeing holes here. And the whole reason I wanted to bring it up at all is I just want to make sure that we're all in the understanding here, you, the viewers, us here, that in order to get the truth, which is the justice in any situation, you've got to be able to approach everything unbiased. And this is just a reminder for myself even, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you get bought into this idea that Bryan is innocent, you're no longer looking for the truth, you're looking for why he's innocent, which is the same mistake the police made
allegedly.
If they worked backwards, like the working theory is, to get him, which doesn't mean he's innocent, doesn't mean he's guilty, but if the police worked backwards in the situation, the people that are working towards his innocence are essentially doing the same thing.
Yeah, making the same exact mistake.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think if you go ahead and you make your decision on his guilt, then there's no way you're going to find the truth. And when you have, like, okay, one guy, what is his name again? It's the detective that's, like, notorious for solving cold cases.
Who?
He was involved in, gosh dang it, I thought I wrote it down. He was involved in the
do you remember the case?
John Bonet case.
Okay.
Gosh,
It doesn't matter. What about him?
anyway, I mean he died, but he's like really good at coming in and solving cold cases because he goes through a process of elimination. He doesn't come in and decide, okay, I think it was the parents, which is what the police did.
Yep.
They came in and decided it was the parents, and then they all their evidence pointed to that and ignored all the evidence that pointed away.
Right. Which isn't a conspiracy, by the way, you guys.
It's
and
not
that's
at
why
all.
I lean on that. That is just a human flaw.
We're going to get into it next. I'm going to talk about John Bonet next and all of that.
That's just the human condition, and that's the downside of having emotions and not being a sociopath. You know what I mean?
That's the
like,
downside.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're right.
Let's be honest.
There's pros
here.
and cons to everything.
Absolutely. So, but I just think we should all be very careful with these theories, and I think that a lot of these theories are a lot easier to approach once you get to a place where you're comfortable being unbiased and understanding that, look, let's just name 5 of them where Bryan could be innocent. He could have some kind of FBI connection and being set up. I've heard that one. He could be the driver. I've heard that one. He could be the killer. I've heard that one, obviously. He could be just there buying drugs. You know what I mean? Like, any of these things could end up being true.
Yeah.
And we got to get to a place where we're comfortable being able to accept that.
Yeah, and, I want to say this. It's everybody's right to speculate.
Oh,
okay?
for sure.
It is
100%.
your right to speculate. And there's a gag order. It's sealed. We don't know what, for real evidence they have, but we can guesstimate based on what they've given us. And usually in the affidavit, they give you the hard-hitting evidence.
Absolutely.
Okay? And their hard-hitting evidence in the affidavit is crap. It's crap.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of true crime channels.
It's not crap. It's just not a slam dunk.
No, there's a lot of holes. Okay,
Yeah.
There's a ton of holes, and it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how he could have done that by himself.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't get it.
Without a history of
without
escalation,
training in some way or something.
evolution.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, yeah, you made me
It's
forget
not that
where I
it's
was
not
going with
possible. It's just unlikely.
Highly unlikely, I think. But there's a lot of true crime channels out there that I see, which I respect. I respect them. I like them. I watch them personally.
Yeah.
But I hear them say stuff like, kind of putting down sleuths online, putting down people that speculate like it's disrespectful to the victims and the families, and to believe the cops and everything they say, and these are the facts because it comes from the cops. And I support cops 100%, and I do think they will give us the facts as they see them. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Human condition.
But, yes, we're people. We make mistakes, and I don't think speculation is such a bad thing, okay? I think there's a fine line between going straight out in conspiracy tin hat area and speculating and trying to be unbiased and not, demonizing any party.
I agree.
Because I think a lot of people could take some of our things that we've done and try to run with it that way. Like we're demonizing the police, and they could try to twist it that way.
Yeah.
But I'm here to give you the PSA now that we're not. We support the police, but we also support the justice system in the fact that he should be considered innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
Yeah.
Which is what it is right now.
Yes.
In the mainstream media. Is that he is guilty. It needs to be proven innocent.
Right.
You cannot tell me any different. That is exactly how they are presenting it.
Yep. Which, again, he could be guilty. But we should be looking at it by our human rights as citizens of the U.S.,
Yes.
Yep. I agree with you 100%.
And I don't feel like it's a slam dunk. Now, if I felt like it was Gilgo Beach slam dunk, then I...
No, Gilgo Beach is a slam dunk. Let's be real here. That evidence is insane. You got, take the DNA out of it. It's insane evidence. That is incredible, mind-blowing evidence.
I know it is.
It is insane.
And he has a very clear history of stalking and harassing sex workers. So,
yep, they proved the phone was in his hand while he was harassing, adult workers. And
I have more Gilgo Beach tonight too, so we'll get into that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So just be careful with these theories. And honestly, I think that there's a place in the crime community where we can be more accepting of each other. So, I appreciate that these theories are out there. Don't take that the wrong way. I'm not saying that there's a problem with these theories.
No.
What I'm saying is that it's important to be solid and confident enough in your unbiased opinion to look at the facts that nothing out there should be able to sway you emotionally in a negative way or a positive way.
And, I think police are biased in the reasons they hate sleuths because they don't want to be called out. For one, they don't want their cards. They don't want their cards revealed.
I don't know about that.
They don't want their cards revealed. They don't want people leaking things, which I understand.
That's putting them in a box, though.
No, okay. So
it's not they.
Recently,
there might be some officers that look at it like that. Sometimes it's case-based.
In Portland, in Austin, in many cases around the country right now, police are saying stop sleuthing. Like, maybe this will put this, make the sleuths quiet for a while. Like, they're putting them down in their press conferences and their statements.
Yeah, and before that was mainstream media. They've always done that.
And I think, I think some people think, oh, yeah, like, maybe I shouldn't, like, entertain other theories and stuff. Maybe I should only look at what the police tell me. Or the facts.
I feel like that just puts police in a negative light.
No, I understand why they wouldn't like it. I'm not saying it's negative. I think them as police are working hard to go out and try to get the facts.
Yeah.
And when people go online and start trying to call them out false or truthful call-outs, it's frustrating. Because people call into the cops and report things and will say, you guys missed this, and I think it causes some issues.
Maybe. I don't know.
And I understand why they don't like it, but in the same respect, it's our right to do it.
No, absolutely.
And we should.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I don't know if that's the case, though. I just don't feel comfortable putting a blanket statement on it that, the reason why they don't like sleuths is because they don't want to be judged. They're a public servant. They're supposed to be in the public. All their information is public. Everything they do is public. Body cam footage is public. Everything's public. So I think it, for real, can affect the case, and it just needs to be done in a conscious way. So,
yeah,
but
the consciousness is like the important part of all of it, I think.
Yeah, I think if you have a police officer that you're saying can't handle being judged by the public when he's a public servant, that sounds negative to me.
I don't know. I think it can be frustrating is what I'm saying. Because it was said in the Moscow case, too, in their press conferences.
Yeah.
That, listen to the facts we're telling you, not what people are speculating about online.
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference between people speculating and saying they're speculating and people speculating and presenting it like it's a fact.
Yeah, I get that. Yep, absolutely. But anyways, that is the topic I wanted to cover. Hope you guys got where we were coming from there. And when you see somebody in our comments that has a different idea, theory, opinion than you do, we should appreciate each other in this setting and in this situation, because otherwise, if we all had the same opinion, all we'd be doing is shouting down an echo chamber. I can't think of anything more boring than that, you guys. That sounds like the most boring thing in the world. I like debating. I like bouncing ideas and questions off people. I like people coming out and saying, yo, you got this wrong. Let me tell you why. Like, I enjoy that. I appreciate that. I like being judged. Maybe some police don't. I do. So I appreciate all of you, and I hope you all appreciate each other, even when you have different opinions, okay? And
I appreciate you more than him.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure we don't get caught and bogged down into, like, conspiracy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to do that either.
That I feel like that's like a death penalty for a content creator, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know how you're feeling about it. What did you think about the dot information that came out? What did you think about the Kara Willis information about the bodies being moved and all that stuff that came out? I'm curious to know what you guys think, because I've actually heard quite a few people bring that up. That idea that they could have been moved. That is not easy. And that is, you guys just think about it. They had cuts all over their body, okay?
Gaping.
All over their body. And you're moving that body. If we did that, then there wouldn't.
Blood trail.
There would. It would be all over the people doing the carrying. There would probably be enough blood out of them that they wouldn't have had it seep all the way outside, like
to the foundation of the house.
Yes, absolutely. But as always, I really want to know what you guys think about this, and we appreciate your input.
Yeah, You want to know something odd that I noticed? That I just want to say real quick and then we'll move on. You know that the 911 call was a call about someone being unconscious. When you see like a bunch of people stabbed and blood everywhere, why would you call in someone's unconscious on the floor? Why wouldn't it be like, oh my gosh, they've been stabbed to death and there's blood everywhere? Isn't that a little weird? Because they didn't. Weird. That is what the police said, and that was asked about in the press conference.
Are you sure the 911 call has been released to verify that?
It has not been released, but that's why I wanted to talk about the press conference.
Okay.
They talk about the 911 call, but he won't release who. They won't release who called, but a reporter inquires an unconscious body, like an unconscious person. Don't you think they would have said something different? And he said, that's just what we got. We got a report saying there was an unconscious person. Person, not people, person.
Okay.
But the real scene is a bloody massacre.
Yeah.
So police didn't know.
Strange.
They did not know what he said. The police did not know what they were rolling up to until they walked in the house and saw it for themselves. They thought it was an unconscious person.
That's super strange. Super, super strange. Wow. Okay.
Just come check out the live stream. We're going to talk about this press conference.
Yep, we are. But anyways, we appreciate you. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.